My name's Donna Marston, and I'm the founder of Sharing Without Shame. And I have a question for you. Is your teen or adult child newly sober, but some of the old behaviors are still showing up? And you find yourself wondering, did they relapse? Are we going backwards again? I know I went through this many, many times when my son was in active addiction. Relapse is a real concern. That's often it was part of my son's recovery. He had many relapses before he found his long-term recovery. This takes time. It's highly unusual for someone to do one and done. It happens. I know people that one and done, went into treatment, they never went back out again. My son was in and out, I think, like 6 or 7 times, which I believe is on average. I was on a recovery mission with a gentleman, and he was in treatment 82 times. So, my thing is always hold on to your hope, because you just never know when the miracle of recovery is going to happen. I want you to know this, and I think this is an important fact for parents to know, is that when our kids are newly sober, there's a difference between being sober and being in recovery. So I'm going to talk about being sober. They just got out of treatment. Maybe a month or so has passed, and they're still irritable, restless, and discontent. You try to have a conversation with them, and it just seems like they're a little foggy. They seem a little out of it, and your gut starts to stir. That often is post-acute withdrawal syndrome. And what that is the body brain healing. And depending on how long your teen or adult child used, what substances they used, it could take longer. For some people, it might be a month. For some people, it could be 6 months, 12 months. I know people, it took up to 2 years for their brain and their body to heal. And I would have parents come to me and say, I don't know, something's wrong. I really feel that they're sober, but I feel like the old behaviors are there and the conversations are weird. I just can't seem to connect. And then we have that conversation. Do you know about post-acute withdrawal syndrome? And often they don't. And when they find out, it's a sense of relief, because you're not crazy. So I just think that's an important fact for you all to know. And so if this sounds familiar, I have an emotional scale. When I found the emotional scale way back in, I think it was 2006, I really feel that it saved my life. I was able to start to breathe. I printed it off and I put it in a frame and I put it on my desk. And every day I would look at that, because I was so numb. I couldn't tell you a feeling that I had. So this emotional scale had me identify where I was emotionally. You may have heard me say it before. I was number 22. I was depressed, full of despair, grieving the loss of my child, even though he was still walking on earth. Once I started to utilize it, I started to get better. So I remember one day thinking, some of the things didn't fit, between like 19, 20 didn't fit. It didn't make sense to me. I think it was 17, anger. Yeah, that made sense. So I took a pillow and I went nuts on my bed. I let out screams and my anger, my frustration. I let it all go. And to be honest with you, I felt a lot better. So I just wanted to let you know, you're not crazy. This is tough stuff, and I'm here to help. I created an emotional scale for parents who have a teen or adult child in active addiction. If you want the link, just put scale and I'll send it to you.